Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. Today we have got ourselves AlphaStar, gonna be taking on some pretty darn good players, and it's the best iteration of AlphaStar, so should be some exciting matches. For our first one here, we have got a Grandmaster player, so top 200 on the European server. Could be up to the very best. But yeah, that means that it's going to be a bit of a tough opponent for our AI, or they'll be a bit of a tough opponent for our AI. In the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have got AlphaStar playing Protoss, and the Grandmaster's Protoss, so we've got ourselves a PvP. So greedy LaughNgamez can basically hope that there's going to be a cannon rush. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Personally, I am holding out for at least one more cannon rush involving AlphaStar before the end of the series. We'll see if that dream comes true or not. We got a probe move out from the Grandmaster player very early on, taking a rather odd path around the map. So the purpose of this, I'm not sure. I get the feeling that it might be like an extra proxy gateway or proxy Stargate. We'll see what it's going to turn into. But yeah, could be something a little bit dirty starting out for the Grandmaster player, and that's always exciting, seeing AlphaStar react to the dirty play. AlphaStar has been opening up more standard lately. Its wall is as interesting as ever. Not having that solid wall. Not having the best understanding of walls does the AI. I mean, this is kind of solid. If it throws up in a building there, then yeah. Then it'll just have the one gap. But for now, it does have two gaps, which is not good. The GM player has thrown up that pylon. There it is. And then moves in with a probe scout. But interestingly enough, he's not actually keeping a probe around that pylon to throw up like a Twilight Council or anything yet. He's going to run out with his probe. We'll see if it's going to build anything there at that pylon, or if this is a strictly mind game pylon to try and throw his opponent off, and that seems to be the case. As the GM player, yeah, he builds the one random pylon out on the map. This is completely in hopes that AlphaStar would scout out and be like, oh, where's your pylon? In reality, the GM player's just got this hidden pylon out on the map. Or he was gonna proxy and then suddenly had a change of heart. Either are valid options. We've got a Stargate play coming out of AlphaStar that hasn't been seen by the Grandmaster player. AlphaStar does trend towards opening with Stargates when it plays Protoss for the most part. And for now, we've got the GM player actually going for a Nexus that's quicker than AlphaStar's, which is exciting to see. He is going to have to deal with these two Adepts coming his way, though. Does he have a probe in position? Looks like the answer is just not quite. He didn't have the minerals. The Adepts are going to get into his main base. Oh, this is a disaster. Are we going to see a force field to try and slow these Adepts? He's going to go for a total probe surround. He's going to grab one of the Adepts, but he loses 5 probes in the process. There's another 2 Adepts crossing the map for AlphaStar. Talk about a bad start for our Grandmaster player. And we even see the GM player. He's not making any more units right now. The Adepts are going to shade into the main base. They're going to try and grab a sentry. Good micro from the GM, keeping that sentry alive. He's trying to save the probes with the Prism, and he's actually doing a pretty darn good job picking them up. So that is some hot micro. Does lose one of the sentries, saves quite a few of the probes, but the Grandmaster player, while this chaos had been going on, hasn't been making any workers really. So he's pretty drastically behind. AlphaStar's got its own Nexus on the way, and AlphaStar's definitely got a lead here. 12 probes is a huge deficit. And oh my gosh, the Oracle comes in, even grabs 3 more probes when I look away for a second. Well done by AlphaStar, playing really hot, as this GM player is already almost at just barely half the workers just of AlphaStar. And yeah, that ain't good at all. So even Grandmaster players getting toyed with by AlphaStar a little bit, made a mistake. He had the right idea, just about had the wall up, but then didn't have the minerals for it. So that's rather painful for the Grandmaster player. Those Adepts getting in, then the Oracle follow-up. And now he's actually moved out on the map with all of his units, and there's 2 Oracles here for AlphaStar, and 2 Oracles bypasses a shield battery, so a recall has to be used by the Grandmaster player His Stalkers get recalled to shoo away these Oracles, but he took more damage while this was going on. Adepts are now in his natural. They shade into his main base. AlphaStar doesn't want the Grandmaster to have any workers. Looks like these Adepts will be caught and killed off. But oh man, is this going to be a bad spot for the GM player? He's down to 15 probes. AlphaStar's cruising at 39. The AI throwing up a stasis ward on top of its ramp and extra shield battery. Just being like, yeah, I just gotta hold on now. I've done so much damage. And once again, we see AlphaStar just outclassing its opponents. Like this guy, right now, I'd say he's probably around... like... It's not super easy to guess with just seeing like this one game. But I'd say he's probably around like... top 150 GM-ish. Yeah, maybe. That's a pretty safe bet though. But yeah, this isn't working out for the Grandmaster player at all. He's got some good micro with his Prism, but this attack just not going to work out. AlphaStar is going to take this game. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a bit of an ambitious one. I totally forgot to say earlier in the game. But seeing as how we guess he's around top 150 likes, can we try and hit top 150 GM? Can we try and hit 150 likes on this video? That would be amazing. So there we go. For everyone who says aim higher on the like button. There we go. All right, so AlphaStar totally toyed with that Grandmaster, but we've got another guy stepping up to the plate. Yeah, this GM player. Grandmasters are going to be taking on Alpha Terran, which could be exciting. A bit of a different matchup. I feel like it's been a while since we've done a TVZ, although it's probably only been like a video or so. But yeah, TVZ always good to watch. I think it's just I was gonna be like AlphaStar is so good in TVZ, but then AlphaStar is really good in every matchup. It does seem that the Zergs do get punished a little bit harder than the other races do, maybe. But I mean, we just saw what happened to that Protoss player. So it's like, no one wins. No one wins against AlphaStar. Not even these Grandmasters who play pretty darn well. And we'll see if this guy is able to do anything to avenge his GM comrade or not. Build-wise, pretty normal stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary. And yeah, we take a look. Just Overlord scouting out, just being like, is there a proxy rack? Are you cheesing me, guy? When in reality, AlphaStar doesn't ever do a proxy 2 rack, so just gonna be building that barracks back at home, mining that gas, and yeah, everything looks good. SCV gonna go to the natural. That's to build that DC, and yeah. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Marine popping a salute to the Overlord, paying his respect. Okay, yeah, everything looks pretty darn normal. These Overlords are going on a trip though. The GM player's like to the north. He goes, and then the Overlord's taking the long way around. Yeah. Nothing too out of the ordinary. If you guys aren't subscribed, go ahead and slap that sub button if you enjoy these AlphaStar videos. I think my channel's a bit of an enigma, as I think it's got, you guys are the best, and it's got like probably one of the best like to view ratios on YouTube, which is amazing. But then, as far as the sub to view ratio, not the best. Anyway, we see this drone getting worked on by that Reaper. Good micro from the GM player, keeping his workers alive. Even has his third base on the way. Ling's zoning out the Reaper. The Queen's now out. She can help out with that too. So, good start by the Grandmaster player, zoning out that Reaper. Ling's gonna potentially grab that Reaper. Not quite. Good reaction by AlphaStar, keeping that alive. Good move by the GM player, making sure he had his Lings on that cliff, because I know this map's been out of the pool a little while, but when it was in the pool, it was common for Terrans to jump up that cliff to try and sneak a drone that they might have softened up earlier. Reaper now jumps up into the main base, scouting out. runs behind that mineral line. We'll see if he can grab a drone or not. Not quite. Really good micro from the GM player, showing us that he babies all of his drones. He's got a couple more queens on the way, even a spore crawler. Well, that was spore crawler, that was a drone. We'll see if he actually starts spore crawlers later on. For now, though, AlphaStar is just powering on up. Gonna lose its Reaper, yes, after that. But, yeah, the Grandmaster player just making lots of drones. AlphaStar does have a couple of Hellions moving across the map. We'll see if this Zerg is just going to get roasted and toasted like a lot of Zergs do. The Hellions now move into the natural base. The Lings are coming forward to get on top of these. Looks like they'll get one good volley of drones. Getting two, but that was 2 drones for 2 Hellions, so that was actually pretty decent for the Grandmaster player. Meanwhile, an Overlord is suiciding in, just trying to get a scout off. He's going to say, okay, no battlecruiser rush coming my way, so that's good. He's going to see the Hellion production, the Stim production, assume it's a 3cc play from AlphaStar, as that Overlord just ceases to exist. I guess that's a bug in StarCraft with older replays or something. Yeah, we take a look here. Queen on the way again for the Grandmaster player, growing that count. He hasn't made any more Lings, really. He got 8 Lings. And AlphaStar's got 5 Hellions. So there's a chance that these 5 Hellions eat or just YOLO on in. I can't believe I said that, by the way. And that could be problematic for the Grandmaster player. As these Hellions are getting in. The Lings actually do get pretty good surface area on them, but the problem is there's literally just 8 Lings. The drones are going to run away. The Queens actually get turned around a little bit, but no, Queens, you got to defend your babies. As the drones, they do get saved for the most part. Looks like he loses 5 drones in total, which is actually a pretty good opening for the Zerg. His money is starting to go up a little bit, so AlphaStar's harassment even really bothers GM players, and that's a little bit painful. Liberator kind of flies over the wrong area, takes quite a beating. 4 Overlords do have to get fired up for the Grandmaster player, so he did hit a bit of a nasty supply block. As long as he spends that money right away, though, he should be fine. AlphaStar's got Stimpack tanks starting to produce a rather decent army, but yeah, nothing too major going on. Like, yes, I'd say the GM player got a little bit more disrupted than he should have. AlphaStar runs in with the Hellions once again. They're going to be able to add up to 11 drones in total, but that was 11 drones for a Liberator, 7 Hellions. That's actually pretty decent for the Zerg. That's definitely recoverable. And we see the Grandmaster player is firing up more drones, getting 1-1 on the way, so he is going to play a primarily Roach-based style against this mass siege tank Marine. There probably should be a 4th going up for the Zerg soon. And we see that popping up right there, 12 drones on the way. So he's going to get his saturation going, and the game will continue on. Keep in mind that attacks from AlphaStar are going to start happening as these Marines move out on the map. There's lots of creep, though, that will buffer against this. We'll see if AlphaStar is, well, with its 3rd base now getting up, is going to just wait, go for a big attack or something like that. The Grandmaster players starting to produce roaches, going to have to deal with these Marines as they charge on in towards his 3rd base, cutting up a few of the drones as the roach count simply isn't high enough to help deal with this just yet. The Medivac is getting targeted down, but lots of drones are vulnerable. A lot of damage being done by this drop of AlphaStar, targeting down the drones, losing all the Marines and the Medivac in the process, but that was a huge amount of damage getting done. That was like, oh god, that was like 20 drones that died or something like that. That was no good at all. The 3rd base not even saturated whatsoever really now. The Grandmaster player has got to spend precious larva replacing those. He's got to be hitting his injects too, because that could be a bit of a bottleneck for him. Yeah, no larva to replace those drones easily when he wants to be making roaches too. And he is feeling the pressure that he needs to get some damage done to AlphaStar, just based on the damage that he took. So he's going to try and grab a few SCVs, tossing down Protoss, but he's got to get away from those Marines because yeah, they've got +1 attack, whereas the 1-1 for the roaches isn't done yet. So the Grandmaster player's got to pull away. Once his 1-1's done, that will be rather nice for him, but I am quite concerned if we take a look at the supply. AlphaStar cruising at 120. And being up on supply against a roach player is pretty darn good for a Terran, if not amazing. And so, yeah, the GM player, he's slowly been falling further and further behind this game. That drop was the big play that really messed him up. He's going to be getting out Lings now because he, I guess, wants to start going for Banelings, as he did get up that Baneling nest, but he has yet to start Centrifugal Hooks. AlphaStar is now going to move out onto the map with just a handful of the Marines and such. They will get repelled, so that's alright for the GM player, but he's got a lot more to deal with down the line as AlphaStar's tank count is going to grow. The Marine count is starting to grow too. A 4th base is on the way for the Terran on location. The Zerg only at 74 drones. And I guess at this point, AlphaStar's just got to make nothing but, or the Grandmaster player's got to make nothing but units. Looks like that one Medivac may get targeted down by the Queen. Yes, it does. So this drop will be repelled. Now going to be moving towards the natural base. Going to be unloading. Starting to gun down a lot of those drones. AlphaStar once again getting more and more damage done with his drops, targeting down those workers. Oh my gosh, so much damage being done. The Zerg had finally reached a decent drone count. Then all of a sudden, just one Medivac full of Marines sets him back quite a bit. So the Zerg, when wanting to focus on making units, is now just having to focus on replacing drones too. A 5th base attempt is going up. I do like this, but the problem is now the numbers are so poor for the Grandmaster player. The Baneling speed has started. Some Banelings are morphing, and this could be just in time to deal with this mass Marine ball from AlphaStar. Actually, this could be perfect timing. AlphaStar stepping on creep with nothing but Marines. We'll see if the Banes can get the connections they need. This has got to be a perfectly timed attack, and oh no, it wasn't. The Lings were moving across the map for a big counterattack. The Lings needed to be in there, so AlphaStar couldn't just target down the Banes. The Banes still do get all right connections, but without the Lings to defend that, and the Lings totally just got cut up. That defense went way worse than it should have. I think for the Grandmaster player, making the wrong decision there. I mean, imagine if there's, those 40 Lings to charge in with those initial Banelings. I think there's no way AlphaStar reacts in time. Even with its AlphaStar micro, now all of a sudden the Grandmaster player loses a base. His creep's been pushed back. AlphaStar just decides to float everything over in Medivacs. Just like, hey, here's my army, and the GM Zerg just taps out, knowing that he's dead. As, yeah, losing that base was way too much. And, that fight, that was kind of AlphaStar, maybe giving the Zerg player a chance. Like, that was like 50 Marines, yes? Yeah, that's like 8 times 5, yeah, 41 Marines there. Or, wait, is it 12? Yeah, no, 8 times 5, I was right. So 41 Marines and 1 Medivac for AlphaStar. And the Grandmaster Zerg decides to send all of his Lings across, and just to defend with 7 Roaches, 8 Banelings, and 5 Ravagers. Whereas, since this was just Marines, if these 40 Lings run in, they buffer for these Banelings, like, AlphaStar totally just gets wrecked here. And we have seen AlphaStar eat mass amounts of Banelings to just its Marine balls before. And then all of a sudden, AlphaStar's down 40 supply. Still not a great position for the Grandmaster Zerg, but he holds on. Instead, he decides to go for this counterattack, which just does not work out well for these poor Zerglings. And so we see things just really go wrong here for the Grandmaster player. These tanks just cut up the Lings like it's nothing. Yeah, they don't kill a single SCV. They don't kill a single thing. And AlphaStar gets a base with just mass Marines stimming a win. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill if you've watched a lot of these AlphaStar videos. If you can hit that like button, it's appreciated. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Sub to the channel, it's free. And press that bell icon if you haven't. Get notified whenever I do another AlphaStar video and such. And yeah, also if I do like a live stream or do like a premiere for like the final AlphaStar video, which I'll probably do down the line. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. My name is LaughNgamez.